Hey everybody, it's Safi and Marco Dish Out on Movies, the only movie review show on YouTube to review movies in terms of food. It's just Marco here once again, and I am here today to review something I haven't reviewed since 2021. Your Honor. And this is Season 2, Episode 1, aka Part 11. Back with the creative titles, I see. This episode, it was a reintroduction back into the universe more than anything. You know, they had this little 2-minute recap at the beginning where they flashed through a lot of the bigger moments of Season 1. And it did refresh my memory a little bit, just a little bit, but I remembered all the little things that happened and that I talked about. And it was such a surprise that this was getting a Season 2. Like, I was sitting there on YouTube looking at my other channel, and then I look, and it's not another like channel, it's just a personal one that I use to watch videos that I made like a million years ago. And I saw this trailer pop up for Season 2, and I was like, oh shit. And I was so excited, I almost like jumped up out of my chair because I thought, wow, they actually did it. It was so shocking. It was like uncanceled, and it was such a great decision from Showtime, or I don't know who exactly. Like, I don't know if maybe the people who made the show went to them and said, hey, can we have another season? Or I don't know if the Showtime people said, oh, actually, this does need another season. Like, yeah. I was really excited. I mean, the trailer looked really good. I was like, oh. It was the biggest surprise of 2022. And it's great. It's really good. I really like the season so far, Season 2. I really like this episode. That's just the short of it. In terms of Season 1, you guys know that I liked a lot of stuff in it, but I also had a lot of problems. And I just hope that this season will be better than the first season. I have a feeling it will be, for one sole reason. You guys know as well as I do, that little shithead Adam, he is gone. He's gone. And so now in Season 2, we are left with the good characters, except for one of them who, I think we all know who I'm talking about. And we will get to him, because there's plenty to talk about with his character, or lack thereof. So, it ended on a note, though, in Season 1 where I was like, how could they continue this? You just killed off the main character that, Michael, his whole reason to live is so that he can protect his son. That's the whole draw to the series, is that he is a judge, his son did something bad against the most evil person in the city, and he's got to protect his son and do these things that are bad, even though he doesn't want to. That's like that's the whole show, that's the whole story. So I was really surprised that they actually found a way. I mean, this is what I mean when I say that those writers, that they're not doing any valuable service by, shortening things and limiting their creativity, because you can see right here, this is something that shouldn't have happened technically, but it did. Excuse me, sorry. And it's great because you can see the creativity. You can see these writers, all they have to do is sit in a room and think, how can we move this story forward, actually? And then what happens? They come up with a way. It's really not. It's not as hard as people think. People make writing out to be some ridiculous chore. Writing is really simple. And it's just like, the hardest thing about writing is that you have to let it flow. You have to let it flow out of you in a very smooth way. You can't force writing out of you. You can't be like, okay, I'm going to write today, and forcing yourself, because it's just not going to be good. That's the only hard part about writing, is just being in the mood set to write. Other than that, there's really no limitations on creativity, on storytelling. And so, right off the bat with this show, we have Michael in this dingy prison. It's a very, very, very shady prison, like the one in the Suicide Squad movie almost. And he has just given up on life, and he has a depression beard. And you guys know as well, this is exactly the thing that I talked about with the X-Files movie, where they're like, ooh, look, this character has a beard now, so that means their character is in turmoil. Like, it's like a symbol of inner turmoil that you have a beard. It's not just, a guy likes to have a beard like me. No, it's always got to be, he's really troubled, so he lets his beard grow out, and it's pretty funny, but it looks really good. I mean, I think it looks great, and I think that it's not distracting at all, like the one in the X-Files movie, that fake one. So it opens up with a very dark and intensely uncomfortable scene. It was so good, though. It was like, okay, I'm ready for this show. I am ready for this show to be as good or better as it was at the start of season 1. So he gets a checkup, and then they're like, sir, you need sustenance. And it was really funny because you could tell what was going to happen. Something bad was going to happen. And so then they strap him down to a chair, and they shove tubes up his nose, and they force feed him like a vanilla protein shake or something. And it is a very gross but just effective scene. I really liked that scene a lot. It was very... So he's just given up, he wants to die. And it's like, this character, where is he going to go? Like, once he gets out of this, he's not going to be able to do very much, because, he's not going to be able to be a judge again. So, what is he going to do? His love interest, she hates him now, because everybody hated him in the finale almost. And then he doesn't have the son anymore. He needs like a new purpose. And I think that there was a little hint at a new purpose for him in this episode, other than the one that he's going to be forced to do, obviously, as we found out. So then we get to and there were some flashbacks, and I also really liked the way that this episode was structured. I like the way that we saw him in prison, and then we saw the flashbacks to after the finale, and it I don't know, it had sort of a somber feeling to it. It had a very effective mood, the whole episode. I really loved the way that this episode felt, because I don't give a fuck about Adam. I don't give a fuck about him. I'm so glad that his character is gone. He is one of the stupidest, most annoying, emo, mopey, dopey, cringeworthy characters in TV history. I mean, you got Kim from Better Call Saul, you got Adam from Your Honor, and you got Glenn and Glenda from Chucky. Those are some of the most annoying ones who I can think of right off the bat. But there's plenty of them. Oh, Levon from Californication. Oh, no, who can forget about Levon? Ugh. Oh, the stink finger guy. Oh. So, what was I saying? So we see these flashbacks to the finale and everything, and they try to find Eugene. They can't. Carlo, he started off the season kind of nerfed. He's running around trying to look for Eugene, and they do the cliche movie thing where somebody runs behind a train, and then the train goes by and they disappear, and Eugene actually manages to do that and disappear, which... Eugene started off this show almost like a different character in a way. The way that he's just able to magically teleport away from trouble, and as if they're just not going to look for him. They're not going to. I mean, this was a huge event here. This was a person who got brutally shot, and he's dead. The pool of blood. His father's holding him in his arms, and somehow they just can't find any trace of Eugene. I mean, it's kind of a joke. It's it was so easy to find him in season 1 when he's just wandering around the city like an idiot, and he's just walking on the street, and he's like, oh, hey, what was that one? A lawyer or something? The Hispanic lawyer woman. I miss her character. She was not in this episode, and there was kind of a question to me, where is she? She didn't even go to Adam's funeral, which, let's be honest, I wouldn't have gone to Adam's funeral either, because I really despise Adam a lot. So they just can't find Eugene, and then Carlo even gets caught by the Desire Gang, and they're holding him and saying, Jimmy, fuck off. We'll bring you the shooter when we bring him. This is not Grubhub. This is this is real life. And Jimmy's like, but that was the weird thing, was that it seemed almost like nobody cared that Adam died except for Jimmy. Jimmy, the biggest crime boss in the whole city, and then of course his daughter, his wife. It's really interesting, because to me, I think that I'm going to make a prediction here and say that the Baxter crime family, they are going to be the most likable characters this season. Even though Michael is, he's the main character, he's just always in a situation in this series where he's going to do something shitty because of quote-unquote right reasons, and he's always going to be forced into doing something. So, he doesn't really have any agency. He doesn't have any, moral fortitude to say, no, Jimmy is my friend now. I'm not going to fuck him over. And then the thing with the daughter, Jimmy's daughter, he's sending, she's... Oh no, I am sorry, Fia. And then we get Fia! Fia is back, and she is sending Michael letters in prison. Michael is not responding to those letters. I mean, I know that Michael wants to die. I know that he's sad, and that he has a sad beard. But why can't he just respond to some of her letters? Why can't he just say, Dear Fia, I am glad that you liked Breaking Bad and seasons 1 through 3 of Better Call Saul. I am sorry that Adam passed away. I mean, he was my son, but let's face it, he was a giant piece of shit. And I hope all is well for you. I hope you have a great future ahead of you, and have fun. I'm gonna go die now. Sincerely, Michael Desiato. That's all he has to do, but he just won't respond to her letters. And then she comes onto screen. Oh my god. Yeah, I thought that she looked good in season 1. She has got, oh my god. Season 2 Fia is a goddess. And she has fully eclipsed that teacher from season 1. And she is the best one now. And it's really funny because everyone's talking about Wednesday. I think that we need to start talking about Fia. I think we need to start worshiping Fia. And I think that there needs to be a Fia dance scene this season where she's like, I don't know, maybe she could have like a sad photo room dance like Adam did in season 1 or something. Because she deserves it. I mean, wow. I can't wait to see her character this season based on what happened this episode. So she visits Michael. He finally talks to her a little bit, and then she leaves. So Michael's he's refusing all the help in the world. He's saying, F off, I don't want any therapy, I don't want any sort of consultation, I don't want anyone to talk to, I just want to die. Well, finally, this woman comes in, and she is a federal prosecutor, and she's basically trying to convince him to help her take down Jimmy. And she even gets his confession expunged, which he made in a full confession in between seasons 1 and 2. She gets that erased from history. And I really love her character as well. This is the actress who was in Birds of Prey. And wow, she's really good when she has a good script that she can read off of. And she doesn't have feminazi dribblings, aka that's what Birds of Prey was. Their relationship, I think, is also going to be a highlight of season 2. I really hope that other lawyer comes back, but I can't wait to see this relationship because it feels like there's going to be a lot of great acting scenes between them this season. And so, guys, sorry, but the reason why I've been so weird in this review is because Safi keeps on texting me. I can't even focus here. I'm trying to do this review, and I keep on seeing these texts. It's so irritating. So I apologize about that. I should have put my phone on airplane mode. So I'm just going to go ahead and pause this video, which I didn't want to do, but she's really starting to piss me off. So I need to text her to tell her to stop texting me while I'm doing a review. Okay, so anyways, Eugene, we need to just full-on focus on the story of Eugene, because I feel like a lot of people are just going to give Eugene a pass. They're just going to give the story like a pass and say oh, wow, it's good he got away, yay, let's move on. I'm not going to do that because I was really weirded out at the treatment of that story in this episode. He's hiding out. He basically can avoid all law enforcement somehow. He has all this plot armor. And finally, after all these days of searching, the Desire Gang finds him, and then they are holding him in a cargo container. And basically, the biggest punishment that he gets in this episode is that he has to sit in a cargo container in the dark and drink and eat food and go to the bathroom. That's the biggest punishment that he has to deal with for murder. And meanwhile, the main character, for the stuff that he did, which was basically corruption, he has to get force-fed, he has to lose his son, he's got to go through all this shit. And it's you can see this imbalance in terms of the writing. I don't understand why Eugene's character was let off so easy. It reminds me a lot of in Hannibal, when they had that bitchy ass, okay, here's another one, Alana Bloom, the gender swapped Hannibal character. Brian, full of himself, even said and stated in an interview, well, she went through a lot in season 2, so we just wanted to let her off easy in season 3. And it's like, wow. Talk about corrupt writing. Talk about total, how can you even call yourself a writer if you're just going to if you're going to have your personal opinions of these characters and things factor into the writing? Like with Eugene, I'm just saying his character should have been caught. He should have been killed. It should have been, maybe they could have complicated things and had him go into police custody and then had a whole story around that. But instead, his character is just like a ghost. And he's very easy to notice because he always has the same look on his face. He always just has the same stone cold glare, like he's mad at the world, like he's scowling at everyone because everything is terrible and everyone's terrible. Like he never even changes any expression or any, his talking is always the same. It would be very easy to notice who this person is if you went around talking to people on the street and you went to different places. I had trouble comprehending how long it took to find Eugene. And when they found Eugene, this was probably the most stupidest part of the episode, because I will rate the episode. Now, I give the episode an A-. I'm not saying that this stuff was bad. I'm just criticizing the treatment of this story and this character. It was the same way in season 1, where it was this weird, he has this weird plot armor that no other character has, and he had that whole contrived story where he goes to shoot Carlo, and then there's a magic bullet thing and it shoots Adam instead. It's like you took out the most annoying character, so that's a little bit of credit, but I wish that he would go too. His character has never been any good. He has never been a likable character. Adam was terrible, but at least Bryan Cranston liked him, and so that made him a little bit like you didn't want him to get killed. But Eugene is just really unlikable, and for starters, he doesn't even really acknowledge that he killed somebody else. He doesn't even really acknowledge that somebody else named Adam died, because he is a little shithead and he's just all about revenge at all costs, even though as the leader of the Desire Gang said, you have to be patient for my long game. I have a long game that I'm playing here. Not everything is just about making these quick, rash decisions. And that was a little bit of a theme for the episode that you could see, was that a lot of characters wanted to make these quick decisions. And it showed that the people who took more time thinking and sort of thinking about things, I guess just thinking about things, they will make better decisions than these people who just make these quick, stupid, angry decisions. And so Carlo, the way that he's just running around and he's just like, let's go just shoot up the Desire Gang and find them with more henchmen. And Jimmy's like, no, that's not even a plan. That's not even an idea. That was a great scene as well. Jimmy schools Carlo, and Carlo just sits there like a nerfed idiot. And so Carlo is, he's going to have a little bit of ways to go. His character, he seems a little bit nerfed. He seems like a weak, whiny teenage character now. So I hope he gets to do a little bit better things in the upcoming episodes. Like he gets to fight some guys and beat them or something. I don't know. Something cool. like what Bryan Cranston gets to do near the end of the episode. But back to Eugene. Let's just finish up why Eugene's trash. His story. I mean, I think that the actor, I wish that he would get something good, because for some reason, like, everything that I've seen him in, I just don't like at all. He was terrible in Fear Street, and the Fear Street trilogy was an abomination that should be wiped off the face of the earth, and I don't like him in this show, so it's too bad. But it's just, it is what it is. You know, that's the reality is, you know, maybe he could be in something good this year or next year, and I'll like it, but this is just not it, this show, or this character, because not only does he not acknowledge that he killed somebody innocent and that he screwed everything up, he basically just treats it like, "Nah, I had a misfire. Whatever." Like, he's just whatever. He really doesn't care at all. He has no empathy. He has no human emotion that he shows over killing this innocent guy. I mean, the people who should have been most mad at him because he killed one of their kids, they were the people who were the most concerned about him. They were the people who were most upset about this situation, like them and Michael, of course, the father. The fucking Eugene, the killer, he doesn't even care. It's like, could you imagine if you were trying to kill some really evil guy and then some other innocent person stepped in front of them and you shot them instead? I mean, I would probably feel bad for forever. Like, I would never be able to get over that. Like, just think about The Crow. Think about when they were shooting The Crow, and that actor was just supposed to be shot with blanks, and then somebody put, like, real ammunition into the pistol. Like, that was terrible. And nobody ever, the guy never got over that or anything. They never even really figured out how that happened. It was a terrible, awful, sad, heartbreaking incident. You know what Eugene would have done if he had shot Brandon Lee on The Crow? Whatever, that's just what happens. It's Hollywood. You know, it's Hollywood. You know, that's what Eugene would have done. And so, excuse me if I really don't care about his character. Like, this thing with, you know, who cares, you know, about this innocent person who just got brutally killed, just shot up at a hotel, for no reason at all. He has no remorse. And he just, the way that he acts, he doesn't really have anything to say either. Like, he just has this, like, angry expression, and it's really weird because in the finale, he had, like, a look of sadness when he shot Adam, and he had this kind of, like, gasp, and he kind of had this, like, oh no! Like, he did not look happy in the finale. So it's weird how now he's just like, me, and then he gets away. But that's not the worst thing that happens with his character. The worst thing is that the henchman, the main henchman from last season, he takes Eugene to a bus, and then he gives him a big roll of cash, and he tells him to go to an address, and he tells him to go on the bus. And Eugene, of course, he's such a bad character that it takes him like 10 minutes to decide to do that. I mean, if you were wanted by this crime family, if you did something that bad, and the police, of course, you get out of the car right then and there. I mean, the Desire Gang leader, I actually like her now because she didn't even care. She was going to hand over Eugene and say, you know, go ahead, take him. He did something shitty, even though he's a teenager, which he's aged now. So now he looks like he's like 18, 17 or 18. He doesn't even look like he did in season 1. You know, just give him to the crime family. Give him to the Baxters. So I really don't like what Eugene is like this season still. I don't understand because if he showed some empathy, if he showed some regret, some sadness, then maybe I would like his character a little bit. But the fact that like he's just so cold and he's just like, yeah, who cares? It's like, ugh, I don't like this character, okay? I just don't. So finally, the main like climactic sequence that happens is a really, really good sequence. It was probably my favorite part of the episode. So in prison they have this prison rodeo thing, which it kind of seems like something that would be illegal in America. I mean, I mean, it seems like something that a lot of these corrupt people would put on. But the way that it was like something that they actually allowed. And so I would like to know if anyone knows, like, if they actually do that. Because, putting a bull, because what they do is they have 4 prisoners, and they sit at a poker table in this huge, this huge arena. And they're playing poker, and they wait for a bull to come and kill all of them, or 3 out of 4, and whoever is still alive gets money. I mean, doesn't that sound kind of corrupt? Doesn't that sound like something that probably shouldn't be going on, unless like they're all pedophiles and rapists and murderers? Like, you know, it doesn't seem like something that should be going on in modern day society. So obviously Michael sees this and he really wants to do it. I mean, he is so excited. He's like, okay, fine. Finally, I can get out of this place. I can just go join Adam in heaven and, be annoyed by him in heaven even more. Because honestly, like, what's Michael gonna do once he sees Adam in heaven? Because when he sees him, like, you know what I would do? I would be like, Adam! You fucking stupid fuck! You could have prevented all of this! You didn't have to date Fia! You didn't have to kill that kid! You didn't have to do any of this stuff, you stupid little shit! You fucking Adam! Adam! And then he'd be like, I'm sorry, Dad. I met the Lord and he said that I will be sorry a little bit. And if I were Michael, I'd be like, no! You will forever be sorry, and I will punish you now. And then he'll just never talk to him again. I don't know. So, like, he really wants to die, though. I mean, this Michael. So he sits at the poker table, and it's pretty sad, actually, because there's another guy there, and he wants to get money for his family at home. And so it's like there's a possibility he could die and then Michael could survive. But both Michael and him end up surviving. But it's a really intense sequence watching this. It's a really well shot sequence. It's really beautiful. I really loved it. I thought it was clearly the best part of the episode. It was perfect. It was a great idea. It was a nice, fun thing, and intense and suspenseful at the same time. I don't know why I said it was a fun thing. I mean, just in terms of it was fun to watch it, okay? It wouldn't be fun to watch it in real life, but since it's a show, that's why it's fun. Finally, Michael agrees to do what the prosecutor wants, and he gets out of prison. And that's and the surprise of the episode is the goddess Fia, the ultimate goddess. She has got a baby, and it's not any baby. Oh no, it's Adam's baby. Oh, Adam. Oh, y'all. Like, Adam is such a fuck he is doing fucking stupid ass shit from beyond the grave. I mean, just somehow, like, Adam is dead, right? But somehow they found a way for some other shitty thing for Adam to have done. He left Fia with a baby. And this fucking baby, you can just tell it is going to turn out like Rosemary's Baby. It is going to bring the end of the end of the world. Yeah, I mean, as soon as that fucker reaches age 5, he is going to just walk out on the street and like cause like a car to crash or something. Like, this kid, they better watch this baby, because I can tell you it is going to be like in the X-Files, where the baby has telekinesis and shit and it's part alien or something. Like, it is not going to be a pretty sight what happens with this creepy baby, because it's Adam's baby, and anything that Adam was involved in making, that thing is going to turn out fucked up. I mean, what's next? The teacher comes back and she's pregnant too? Like, oh no. Oh, hopefully not. Oh, that would be 2 Rosemary's Babies. Oh, Adam. Oh, like, what? They are really just gonna find more ways for Adam to do more stupid shit. Like, I bet you guys that at one point they're gonna find a letter that Adam wrote to Fia, and it's gonna say a bunch of stupid ass shit like, remember that one time where we were like cuddling on the carnival on the Ferris wheel thing? Like, it's gonna be some really weird shit with this fucking Adam's letter. And then they're probably gonna find like a video, and it's gonna be Adam saying, "Hey guys, if you guys see this, I'm dead." You know, it's going to be one of those types of videos, like in Scream 3, when Randy has his little video that they look at. I really hope not, though, because I just... Ugh. But I actually really like that twist. I can't wait to see what happens with that. You know, that was pretty interesting to me. I didn't mind that at all. So I give this episode an A-. I enjoyed it a lot, even though I didn't like the stuff with Eugene. I didn't like how his character is just... I mean, at this point, does he even have a character? Like, does he even really have a full character that lives and breathes and has, like, you know, emotions? Like, he doesn't feel like a character at all. So I don't know what they're going to do with him this season. But other than that, I can't wait for next week. I really loved the premiere. I think I will just go ahead and bet, too. I think that this will probably be the best TV show of 2023. I mean, what do we have? We're going to have The Old Man. Or we might have Cobra Kai, which that would definitely probably be better than this. But other than that, there's really nothing else that'll be probably any good. So anyways, please like this video, comment. You know, I know that this was kind of a chaotic and messy review. I watched this episode 6 hours ago or something, but I had to wait. I had to wait to do the review, so it's just a little messy in my head right now in terms of that. So, and then please subscribe to our channel if you'd like to continue seeing Your Honor reviews. Goodbye, everybody. See you soon.